iDriveSoCal is brought to you by the very best auto retailers from across Southern California. When it's time for you to buy, or even just kick the tires on the idea of buying, just go to iDriveSoCal.com and click on dealers. iDriveSoCal.com, click on dealers, and get connected. Now, on with the podcast.
It's over 1,000 classic cars and over 150,000 attendees come to this event. So it's food, fun, carnival rides, kids events. And the cruising part of it is what they all want. And they can cruise more than 22 blocks. And that's significant to these car buffs. And it's a tree-lined street. So they're not sitting in direct sunlight. Anybody who registers can cruise.
Welcome to iDriveSoCal, the podcast all about mobility from the automotive capital of the United States, Southern California. Tom Smith here, and I am at Ontario Convention Center out in the Los Angeles suburb of Ontario, California. And joining me is Michael Kraus, who is the president and CEO of the Ontario Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well as Sue Oxerart, who is the marketing director of the Ontario Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for having us, Tom, and congratulations on getting those names right. That's a mouthful.
That's the hardest part.
Thank you. The topic today is the Route 66 Cruisin Reunion car show. And now we're actually, and did I say that right? Route 66 Cruisin, or is it Cruisin Reunion Route 66?
You did it right the first time. Route 66 Cruisin Reunion.
All right. Don't second guess yourself.
No, go with your first gut. Go with your gut.
The Route 66 Cruisin Reunion car show. Now, this is the 6th annual event, and we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of it in just a couple of moments. But with iDriveSoCal being, well, we're coming up on a year old, and as I start each podcast, you know, from the automotive capital of the United States, Southern California, the Route 66 element is very significant there. And I love that you guys tie that into your car show. But first, let's give a quick couple minutes on your car show, and we'll talk a little bit about Route 66, and then sprinkle in car show too. So what are the vital statistics on the Route 66 Cruisin Reunion?
I'll throw a few key points that people need to know when considering coming to this event. Not considering when they arrive.
Of course, they're coming. So
the show itself is always on the third weekend in the month of September. So
okay.
That's an easy thing to remember. You never need to remember the dates. However, this year's event will start on Friday, the 21st, and it will run from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock on that day. And then the next day, Saturday, September 22nd, will be from 9 a.m. until midnight. And the key things you need to know about this is it's not just the car show itself, which are all classic historic cars. And this year we did add one new element that's important to note. And that's that we're now, in the previous 5 years, we required you to have a 1975 year or older.
Okay.
Now you can go to 1988 and older, and that is so that we could bring in the muscle cars, and our visitors or attendees, car buffs, all kind of told us that's something we're missing, and so we've added it this year. So that's a new thing that people want to pay attention to. And then this year we also added a second stage to the event, so we have entertainment as well.
Okay.
So entertainment on Ontario Town Square. And then we also have the second stage this year, which is unique, so that we have experiences throughout the many blocks of this event. Remember, it's over 1,000 classic cars and over 150,000 attendees come to this event. So it's food, fun, carnival rides, kids events. There's places for people to buy different car memorabilia, souvenirs, things like that. So it's quite a big thing. So I'll give you a couple of quick things so that people understand. This is a unique show in that you can cruise during this show. And that in itself is critical to why the show has grown so rapidly in the course of these 6 years, now 6 years. And the growth of that show is critical because of this cruising. And the cruising part of it is what they all want. And they can cruise more than 22 blocks. And that's significant to these car buffs. And it's a tree-lined street. So they're not sitting in direct sunlight, etc.
So what is that? So I can bring my own car and cruise, or are there designated cruising vehicles that are going around the cruising course?
Anybody who registers can cruise.
Anybody that registers. Okay, so if I have a car that is now, as of this year, 88 or older, and I register,
Yes.
and is registration still open? Is it open to the very end, or?
It's open to, you could even do it day of.
Okay, so providing you have a car that qualifies and you register, you can cruise.
That's correct. And
All right.
provided you carry insurance.
Of course.
And provided your car passes our inspection, meaning cars under repair or cars that are not in good condition are not part of the show.
Sure.
So
sure.
you bring your car if you want to show off your hot, cool car.
Of course.
The cars are the show. I remind everybody of that.
Sure,
So,
sure.
so that's critical. So that is that's a very accurate depiction. Vendors and sponsors this year are extensive. That always is a big part of the experience. But this year we also have, what is it, Sue? It's 75-foot Ferris wheel?
Yes, you went crazy this
I went
year.
a little wild this year.
Yeah, decided to go with a big Ferris wheel. And we also thought it's the year of the dog. So let's take Route 66 Cruisin Reunion and just go dog crazy. So we brought in splash dogs. And we also have a couple of great animal shelters here in our local area that will benefit from everything that we're doing.
That's
but
great.
it's part of the fun family entertainment. I mean, this is all free.
Yep.
And it's great for families to come together. And, you know, you see grandpa with the 8-year-old explaining what these classic cars are about. It's
bet.
fabulous. Great event.
That's
And
what
I think
car shows are all
another
about.
neat thing you notice, speaking of the family thing, I don't want to get too sidetracked on that, but the family part of it, a lot of these folks that that spend their lives and their last dime on restoring these cars.
Sure.
A lot of these folks even make a classic little mini version of their classic
course.
car for their kid. So their kid will be in a pedal car that matches
Of
the
course.
historic car. So that's pretty cool. But I think back to the entertainment too, because I want people to know that this goes on late into the evening, which makes for a great entertainment experience. This year we have a bunch of different bands that'll be fun, but let me give you a couple of names. Bluff It, which is the Jimmy Buffett knockoff. Let's not forget Hotel California. I'll leave that to your imagination.
Sure.
But you know exactly.
That's the
what I mean.
AC/DC knockoff, right?
How about Voyage, which is
Journey.
Journey, and what was the other one, Sue? I'm forgetting. Is that the
Oh,
three-
we actually, it's kind of fun. On Saturday, we're going to kind of go through the decades. So we're going to start off with doo-wop, and then we're going to go into the British invasion. You know, we'll work our way all the way up, obviously, to the 80s. And I'll tell you, this guy, Hugo from Voyage, I don't know how he looks so much like Steve Perry, but he's got his voice, too. It's just amazing.
Perfect.
It is fun. So the entertainment value is really neat this year. And we do find that a key part of this show is the entertainment. And our amphitheater in downtown Town Square, which I had mentioned, that does during the summer months. We do between 1,000 and 8,000 people there on a given evening for events. So it will be a guest experiential.
And in between the 2 days that this show's going on this year, you anticipate 150,000 people through. That's significant,
That's correct.
That's a lot of
A
people.
lot of people.
especially you've only been doing it for 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, good for you
But
guys.
but these guests are loyal. They come year after year and they tell their friends. I've gotten 5 calls today from people saying, Michael, I want to come. I didn't do it. I don't think I got in fast enough. I said, you're fine. Come on. We're ready for you.
Perfect. And as you point out, good family-friendly fun. That's the best thing of it all, and the bonding from generation to generation. I absolutely love that. Now, it's a free event for everybody, but is it free to register my car as well? Or do I have to pay a little bit to register?
You do have to pay to register. If you register in advance, it would have been $65. But
Okay.
day of the event, let's say you hear about this and say, oh, I have to be there. I got to bring out my car. You can come and register the day of for $75. And that includes both days.
Got it. And you get to cruise with that. So.
You get to cruise and you get a chance to get into the awards. There is,
All
of
right.
course, awards when you've got these classic cars. That's a lot of what people are looking for.
So a
Excellent.
couple of the awards before, so
Go ahead.
brought up the awards. Don't forget best of class stock, so 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s era cars. And then don't forget best of class modified, so 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s eras. And then the winners will be announced during the event.
All
So
right.
you don't have to wait.
Excellent. Now, the Route 66 tie-in, obviously, we cut right through Route 66 here. But I'm in my mid-40s. I'm 46. Route 66 to me, as we were just talking off mic, it's in some songs. It's a sign that I see from time to time. But just high level, summarize Route 66 and its importance, and then bring it home here to your event. I think
Sue's
you
the
wanna take
Yeah.
this one?
master. She's the master of history, born and raised here.
Yeah, I love history. I used to work for Huell-Hauser, so I think I've always loved history. But Route 66 is iconic. It's the Mother Road, as it's called, and it's actually 2,448 miles. It goes from Chicago, Illinois, to Santa Monica, California. It actually got started about 1926. It was an era called, the Dust Bowl of the 30s, and it was the great migration of people that were coming out west. It was kind of that wave of discovering California and coming out here to, of course, be rich. And so it got tagged.
Everybody's rich in
Of
California.
course.
Of course we are.
Yeah. not.
I can say not too.
Yeah, we're with you.
Yeah. I think really what made Route 66 stand out was when John Steinbeck wrote his novel, The Grapes of Wrath, because that was actually 1940. And that's when he started referring to it as the Main Street of America, because it was really considered that iconic road that so many people use to come out and, become rich, famous celebrities in California, like all of us. So here, for us, we represent the Greater Ontario Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is two cities, the city of Ontario and the city of Rancho Cucamonga. And as a destination marketing organization, what we're doing is inviting people nationally and internationally to come here and discover this area. We're right in the middle of Southern California, so you can come here, stay here, play here, and then you can go everywhere else. So in 1 hour, you can get up to Big Bear Mountain, you can get out to the high desert, you can get to the Temecula winery region, you can get to the happiest place on earth, the Pacific Ocean, and of course Hollywood. So it's a great place to come and stay and enjoy either a leisure vacation or something like Route 66 Cruisin Reunion, which we do get people from all over the nation and even internationally that come for this event. It's amazing.
Fantastic.
Well, what was the year, Sue, that we had the Mustang gang from New Zealand? I think we had 10 or 12 Mustangs that these guys drive.
They brought their Mustangs from New Zealand?
No, they fly in from New Zealand and they rent Mustangs and drive Route 66 across country. Kind of a cool thing. And they came to our show 4 years ago, if I remember. So there's a lot of neat things that this drives. It definitely drives, friendships, family, all those things. It's part of the California and U.S. experience, the car culture.
Right on. Well, again, the dates of the event are?
Friday, September 21st and Saturday, September 22nd.
And it's the 6th annual Route 66 Cruisin Reunion. Easy for me to say. I haven't had my afternoon coffee. Route 66 Cruisin Reunion, right downtown Ontario.
Right on historic Euclid Avenue, which intersects with Foothill Boulevard, which is historic Route 66. And I'd add one more thing.
Please do.
Don't forget that when you visit here, enjoy all the other options that are available here. We have the arena, we have a convention center here, we have a lot of other fun activities for people to do while they're here. So enjoy that, but stay a couple of days. Don't just come for Route 66, stay a few more days.
Go ahead.
And don't forget the website,
which is gocvb.org. So gocvb.org. You can find out all the information on everything our area has to offer and all the details on Route 66 Cruisin Reunion.
Okay. One more time with the
website.
The website. It's gocvb, so Convention Visitors Bureau.
.org.
.org.
You got it.
Go
CVB.
ConventionVisitorsBureau.org.
So
G-O.
Greater Ontario Convention and Visitors Bureau.org. GOCVB.org.
Three different voices.
By the way, you will, if you put in any of those names, any of those things we mentioned, it will come to us.
All right.
So don't worry.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Sue and Michael of the Ontario Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well the Route 66 Cruisin Reunion. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being on the show. And for iDrive SoCal, I am Tom Smith. Thank you, as always, for listening. Hey there. Still wanting more iDrive SoCal content? Just go to iDriveSoCal.com. From there, you can subscribe to our podcast and newsletter. And you can connect with one of our awesome car dealer partners to get yourself a sweet new high-tech wonder on wheels. And oh yeah, we always want to hear from you. So please connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. Or if you're not a big social media-ite, you can email us suggestions for stories, people, places, or events you think we should cover. Here's the address: media@iDriveSoCal.com. That's media, MEDIA, at the letter I, drive, GRIVE, SoCal, SoCal.com. Media@iDriveSoCal.com. Thanks again for listening, and definitely reach out with whatever's on your mind.